Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this Grinchy Christmas Bauble. He is ever so cute. I love him so much. The Grinch is my favourite, you might be able to tell. Today I'm using the method of Mod Podging the inside and then sticking the glitter in there. So we're going to go through exactly how to do it from start to finish. I have got another video where I use PVA glue, so I'll link that down below in the description for you. All of the materials and items that I use will also be down below if you're interested in those. So let's get started with making this fab bauble. Okay, so I'm just quickly going to run through the items that we're going to need to complete this Grinchy project. So first of all, of course, you're going to need a bauble. This is a split bauble. This isn't the actual one that I'm using in the video because I realised it was my last one. So this is very similar, and this one just opens by pulling the end off and then it just comes apart like this. And I prefer these ones to the ones that are in one whole piece together because I don't like having to put my adhesive through the top. I would rather have it split into two pieces to put my adhesive on the inside. The one that I'm using in today's video is a 7cm one, and I bought them from Amazon, but I can't see that they are available on there at the moment. So this one was from Home Bargains, but you can also get them from the Works. They come in packs of 6 normally, and Hobbycraft have also got lots of them at the moment in different sizes. So I would recommend having a look in Home Bargains, maybe B&M and Hobbycraft, because they've got all sorts of different sizes in the split baubles at the moment. This is the glitter that I'm going to use today. This is from Poundland. It was £1. Obviously it's just basic glitter in green. This is as close to the Grinchy green as I could get. I've got some Mod Podge. This is the dishwasher safe one, but you don't need to use the dishwasher safe one. It's just what I've got on hand. I've got some green cord to match the glitter colour to make a little loop to go on my bauble to hang it on a Christmas tree. And then I've just got a few tools here, my tweezers, my weeding pin pen, a squeegee and a paintbrush. And then I've got 2 different colours of vinyl. I have the black and I've also got this yellow as well. So I'm going to use both of those in the project today. You're also going to need your Cricut machine. You can do this project using a Joy, an Explore series or a Maker series. Because it's such a small design, you can cut it out on any of the machines. They'll all work for it. I'm using a fine point blade today as well. If you want to see a full list of what I used, it will all be down below in the description, so just check that out. There will be links as well for the items that I can find online for you. Just be aware that they may be affiliate links, so I may earn a small commission if you do buy anything through my links. It's free to you, but it does help to support the channel. So let's get started with some glitter. So then the first thing that we need to do is get our bauble and split it open. And then we're going to get some Mod Podge and just coat the inside of our bauble quite liberally with a coating of Mod Podge. And we want to get it all the way around. Just paint the inside all the way around. Make sure that you don't miss any bits. Try not to have it so that it's too thick in some places, because that'll take too long to dry. Make sure you get right up to the edges of your bauble. Just do the same again on the other one. These are really thick paintbrushes that I got from Poundland, and they're ever so good for this. And I love them for things like Mod Podge and PVA and stuff. I'm just going to go back over this one and try and get my brush strokes all to be the same. I'm just going to now scrape off my brush and get as much of that back into my little tub as I can. Alright, so next of all what we're going to do is just get our glitter and we're going to pop it into our baubles. So I've just got a piece of paper here. I'm just going to fold it in half and I'm just going to use this to catch the excess glitter. So if we pop that onto there, so what you'll want to do is open up your glitter and just pop a bit inside. You can always add more, so what I tend to do is add quite a bit. And then you can always add more if it's necessary. I like to put them together and I line up the eyes at the top and just give it a good old shake to get the glitter to go all around. And if you've got bits that haven't covered, like here you can see, I'm going to just reopen that carefully. I'm just going to dump another load of glitter into there. Put it back together again and give it another good shake. And this is covering really well actually. I'm quite pleased with this. Give it a good old shake around. Okay, and you can see how nicely that has covered the inside of the bauble. Now, once you have got the coverage that you want on your inside of your bauble, what you can do is just open it really carefully, because you don't want it to fly everywhere. And just what I do is get as much out as I can. Look how sparkly it is inside. And then I give it a little tap just on there, or even just together, and you can see how nice that looks, and it's covered it really nicely as well inside. And then I'll leave these to dry for about 24 hours. So I'll just put them to one side and let those dry. So now we want to just put the rest of our glitter back into our little tub, and that's why I made the fold before I started, so that I can sort of use it as a little channel to get all my glitter back in there. So here is my design that I've got. I bought this from Etsy a while ago, and I'm going to just adapt it a little bit to make it a bit more fun for what we're doing. So the Grinch normally has yellow eyes, doesn't he? So what we want to do is make his eyes yellow. I'm going to duplicate him first, so we've got two to work with on the screen. I'm just going to hide the first one just by using the little eye icon at the top here. And what we want to do is make his eyes yellow. So let's come down to the bottom to contour. Okay, and there is the bits that we want, the eyes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just click on all of the other pieces, because I just want his inner eyes on my screen. So if I click off of this now, oh, missed his chin. If I click off of this now, I should just have the two bits of his eyes. Oh, and I've missed a eyebrow. Let's go back in. That just shows you how easy it is to miss bits. There we go. Right, so now we've just got his eyes. So what we can do is change those to yellow. So we're just going to come up to this little black square at the top, and if we click on it, it gives us all the different colours that we can choose for our material. So I'm going to pick the yellow, and then I'm going to bring back my original Grinch face. So now you can see that when we've got that layered up, it's going to look perfect there with him. Okay, so what I will do now is I'm going to measure up my bauble now. So here's my green glittered bauble that we've previously done. I don't want it to be massive, but I don't want it to be tiny either. So I want his mouth to be pretty wide, and I'm thinking about 6 centimeters. So I want overall my design to be 6 centimeters across. Alright, so I've measured my Grinch, and I reckon about 6 centimeters will be good. So what I need to do first of all is just drag over everything, and then I want to group that together. And then I'll come up the top here into the sizing box, and I will just click 6 into there, and then that has resized, and it's kept the proportions for this side as well, because I didn't undo the padlock. If I were to have undone the padlock, it would have put the proportions all out of skew, and it would have been weird. I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller just to be on the safe side. Okay, so now that is ready for us to cut out on our machine. So if we go up to make it, So we've got two mats, which is what I expected. So we've got the black of the Grinch's face, and then we have got this yellow sheet just for his eyes, and these are going to be pretty small, so it's going to be a good test for the machine. So I'm just going to click back onto the black one. I'm going to click on continue, and then I'm going to choose my materials. So I've just had a quick look through my scraps box, and I've actually got a piece of black and a piece of yellow that I can use for this. So I'm just going to pop this at the top in the corner of my mat. And this mat is not very sticky, so I am going to give it a helping hand with some masking tape. And I'm just using regular masking tape for this, and I will just put it as close to the top of my black piece as I can, just enough to hold it really in place so that it doesn't move around while it's cutting. And then I'll stick it at the bottom there, and then I shall just put a little bit on this corner as well. Okay, and I am going to use my brayer just to stick it down where possible. So this is Cricut premium vinyl that I've just found in there, so it might be different to the one I showed you at the start of this video. Because I don't want to be messing around too much with mats and stuff, what I'm going to do is flip my mat upside down. I'm going to put my yellow piece in the other corner, just like that. And again, I'm just going to use a bit of tape just to hold it down on either side, and I will not leave it overlapping like that because it can get stuck in your machine and jam it up. So I'm just going to grab a little craft knife and just slice that off down there so that that isn't going to, oops, so that's not going to get stuck in the machine. So our machine is ready to go. It wants us to insert the mat, so I've just guided it into my machine. I'm going to press the double-ended arrow, and then I'm just going to hit the flashing go button. Okay, that is done. So let's just click eject on there, and now I'm just going to flip my mat around, and my yellow is ready to go, so I can just pop that in. Change any settings that you need to change on your machine as well, if you need to change your material setting or anything like that, and then again just hit the flashing go button. Okay, and that is done. So let's eject again when we're ready to start the weeding. Now we're ready to weed this. I'm just going to take away the masking tape pieces. They worked a treat to hold the vinyl down. And then again with this little yellow bit. And then I'm just going to trim away the excess vinyl from my design. This is really tiny, little eyes. Okay, now these are going to be quite intricate to weed. So for this I'm using my Tech Wrap pin pen. Can you see how sharp that little point is on there for weeding? I'm just going to carefully lift up a corner. Okay, and I want to keep that centre piece, so I need to be careful getting that up there. And when we are putting this onto the bauble, I think getting those centre pieces in is going to be quite difficult. So just need to be careful with that. You can see it's stuck there, it's stuck on my pin pen, so I need to see which way round it goes. That way I think, and I'm going to use my tweezers just to make sure that I've got it, and I'm going to pop it back in place. Now let's get his face weeded out. So again, just be careful when we pull it back that we don't pull back any bits that we want to keep. I like to get my vinyl as flat as I can on the surface, just to allow me to weed it easily. His little nose is coming up with that. We don't want to lose his nose. If anything moves like his nose has during weeding, we can always rearrange where that's going to be afterwards. Okay, let's just move his nose back, and then we want to take his eyes out of here because we're going to replace that with our little yellow pieces that we've got just on this piece of vinyl here. Okay, there we go. So now it's time to assemble the two pieces together, and as you can see, the piece of the yellow needs to fit into the eyes here, and I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently to normal. I'm not going to use any transfer tape to do this part. I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm going to actually do it manually. Because we have a blank area of the white on his eye, the yellow will fit into that absolutely perfectly, and the reason for that is because we use the contour feature. So I'm just using my tweezers now to really carefully place that yellow, and until we press it down fully onto the backing paper we can move it around, but it will fit perfectly into that gap, so it holds it almost in place in between the black of the outer piece of his eye. Then I can just get this really tiny little bit of the pupil and pick that up with my really pointy tweezers, and I'm just going to pop that now into his eye. Then I'll just do the same thing with the other one on the other side. Because this is such a small design, we only need a really small piece of transfer tape. So let's just cut this little piece off here. It's a bit big, doesn't matter because we can just cut it down when we are putting it on. So let's just peel that back. And what we'll want to do is just pop him on there and try and get him as straight as we can. And I'll just use my little pink squeegee to get this on there, and I'm going to give it a burnish down on both sides. Okay, so that's stuck down nicely on there. What we'll want to do now is peel that back. Okay. What I would suggest you do, because this is a curved surface, what I do is just put a few little tiny cuts into the transfer tape, and these are like relief cuts basically, so they just make it easier to work with the transfer tape, and it gives it a little bit more give when you are bending it around the curved surface of the ornament. Okay, so I'm now going to stand up on. So I'm just going to look at my design straight from the top and pop his nose as close to the centre of the ornament as I can, and then I'm just going to really carefully smooth it out. So I'm going to start by just running my finger from his nose, and then I'll just go down towards his mouth and just work my way around the design, just applying it, making sure that I use the relief cuts to my advantage. Okay, so that's back together now. And you can make a little bow if you would like to. I'm going to use this cord, which is from Hobbycraft, just to make a little loop for it. And it's a new pack, so let's just cut through that. I just want a little bit. It's perfect green for this as well. So I'm just going to pop it through the hole. And I'll just cut that off there. This cord you could also just burn the ends of, just to make it so that it doesn't come undone. If you wanted to, I should just give it a little double knot. There we go, he's ready for on the tree. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love to see you again for the next one. So don't forget to subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, please drop them down below. I'll always try to respond to you as soon as I can. And if you did enjoy this video or you learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button because it really does help out the channel. All that's left to be said is have a great week. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye.